Record it.
Yes. All right. So, all right, let's go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fight or Die podcast. Today, we have a very special guest today, RJ Clifford in the heads out, guys. Yay!
Woo!
Guys,
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good job, RJ. Welcome back to the episode of the Fight or Die podcast, guys. RJ, long time no see, guys. Long time no see, RJ. RJ. People don't know this, but I've been a teammate of yours from the Golden West college days.
Yep.
Junior college. People don't even know that I wrestle, but I wrestled in college, high school and college, and with RJ Clifford, who is also a host of the what's the show? Does the name of the show, sir?
MMA Today on SiriusXM Radio.
There we go. He hosted with Anthony Smith, right? Is that what it is?
Yep, Anthony Smith one day and Dean Thomas one day.
Oh, really? You had two fighters.
Yeah.
Wow, big three fighters.
Yeah. I'm always the least famous, least badass guy every show, which is part of my contract.
No, to me, you're the funniest. You bring action to the show, sir. You bring action to the show. What is it? Real quick, RJ, can you please introduce yourself? Introduce yourself for people who don't know who you are, sir.
Yeah, RJ Clifford, old wrestling teammate of Nam over here.
Yeah.
I had 7 pro fights, long retired now, and now I work at SiriusXM, and I work on like UFC production, and I was the former editor-in-chief of Tap Out magazine. I had freelance writing. I wrote for Fight magazine, UFC magazine, Sherdog, kind of all over the place. So media a long time now, kind of radio host and TV production now.
Dope.
Yeah.
Once again, a lot of people don't know this. I wrestled. People can tell by the way I fight. I did a lot of boxing. I wrestled high school and I wrestled in college. I wrestled in college with you back at Golden West College. Who else was at Golden West? T. Ortiz. Right?
Yeah, a bunch of UFC fighters. Yeah. T. Ortiz, Chase Gormley.
That's right.
Jesse Juarez, who beat Robert Whitaker at one point in his career. He has a win over Whitaker.
Did Jesse Juarez beat Robert Whitaker?
Yeah.
He beat the UFC champion.
Yeah, he was the last guy to beat Robert Whitaker, I think, before he went to the UFC.
Holy smoke.
Yeah. And then like old school Eddie Reese, who fought, I think it was Eve Edwards way back in the day in the UFC.
Eddie Reese.
Reese. Yep.
I helped him train for that fight.
Oh, you did?
It wasn't a boxing. Didn't help at all. Okay, I'll tell you real quick before I get to the questions. Man, Eddie, I love Eddie Ruiz. Right? I love him. Right? I mean, my buddy. He's a Golden West, alumni like I am. We came with that fight against Eve Edwards, man. We came out of Wizards of boxing, but like he did no sparring. It was only drilling, and they did any sparring. And like same thing with the grappling. It was just like light grappling, nothing hard. He's an older guy, so he just did a lot of drilling. I think he depended on his wrestling and his elusiveness, his scrambles. But man. And I was in his corner that night, I was right there. I was kicking the face of Eve Edwards, like it was bad. He got his jaw. I understand. He got cut by a kick. Boom. I don't know what happened. There's a big gash underneath his jaw, on his chin.
He just purely wrestled. Like he didn't do anything else. He just tried to wrestle. And if you're gonna be one dimensional against Eve Edwards, you're gonna get messed up.
Yeah. God damn!
I was at that fight. I actually went to that fight.
There?
Yeah, I was there in Vegas. Yeah.
Well, we're just to watch the fights.
Yeah, just as a fan.
I was there on the corner. Who else fought that night? I think I'm not mistaken. Who else fought that night? I think T. Abbott fought that night. I think T. Abbott fought. I thought.
Was that UFC 34?
I forget. It was a long time. I remember T. Abbott fighting Frank Mir and I may have mixed it. It was a long time ago, but as I do remember. I remember Rita Belfort. I remember as a kid, it was a long time ago. I took a picture of Rita Belfort. And I put my arm around Rita Belfort, and dude, I never felt a guy. His shoulders or his muscles was solid as a rock. Like, what the heck? Before I thought I knew about steroids, dude, you gotta work out a lot to get that solid. Like, yeah,
It's like, yeah, lots of push-ups, just lots of
yeah,
push-ups.
yeah,
That's all it
yeah.
was.
That's what I thought. Push. I'm gonna hit the bell. I'm gonna just do push-ups, man. It didn't work out that way. My
No.
muscles never came that hard. You know. Oh well. Anyways, get the questions. What was it? People don't know. People don't know that you and I wrestled in college. The famous Gomez College developed a lot of good wrestlers, good fighters like T, state champ, State Abbott. I'm not gonna think I was state champ, but I think it was. I think Coach Duarte or Coach definitely state champ. Chase Gormley, state champ. What are some of the memories you had of of going to West College? If I'm involved, an even better story.
Well, I remember one match where it involves you, Nam.
Oh, really?
You were fighting this guy named Meza, and he wrestled at Buena Park College. And
Cerritos, right? Cerritos?
I think it was Buena. I think it was Buena Park.
No, I remember him. Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Cerritos. Maybe it was Buena Park High School and then Cerritos.
It was Cypress. It was Cypress.
Anyway, Cypress. Okay, yeah.
Cypress.
Anyway, so I wrestled him at Masters the year before, and he whooped my ass. He beat me like 9-1. Yeah. And he was ranked, and he was doing good that year. And so, and you're like, and me and Coach Duarte, you're about to wrestle him.
All right.
And Coach Duarte is hilarious. You remember him?
Yeah, I love Coach Duarte.
He's awesome. And so we were like, all right, hey Coach, what's the game plan? What should I do? And he looked at you with a straight face. He's like, "Damn, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna beat this guy." And then you go out there and you beat him like 9-3. You like manhandled him. And you tooled him, no problem. I'll never forget that. It was one of the funniest experiences I had wrestling at Golden West.
It was a big upset of my whole college career. Yeah.
And you made it look easy.
Yeah, I beat him convincingly, but at state, he had more wins than I did. I lost at state, I placed at regional, and he placed higher than me. I lost first day at state, yeah, but I love Mason. He's dope, man. He's the man.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's really good. All right, how old were you when you started wrestling, sir?
14. I didn't start wrestling until high school. I was a little, didn't do any grappling, didn't do jiu-jitsu or nothing, not until high school.
High school. So only high school. So did you know about wrestling before that, or did you ever want to wrestle before high school?
So when I got into high school, I knew I wanted to play football. Football was my passion. I still love football. Like, I got my Raiders hat on right now. Like I still love football. But so I don't know how it was at your high school, but when you were in eighth grade,
awful.
Yeah. Well, when you're in eighth grade, the incoming freshmen, they have the auditorium open, and all the eighth graders that's coming in the next year, they have you in the auditorium, do like a little speech, and then all the sports have little booths in the auditorium, and they all kind of pitch, like football's there.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. Field hockey, baseball, basketball, badminton, like all the sports are there. And I go, and I knew I'm going to play football. So I go sign up for football, and I'm kind of walking around, and I'm just like, on a whim, I'm like, I think I'd be a good wrestler. Like, I just think I'd be good at it. I had to wrestle around with my dad and buddies, and I think I'd be good at it. So I just on a whim went over there and signed up. And little did I know that it would change my life forever. I would wrestle all through high school. I'd wrestle all through college. I meet my wife through wrestling. Most of my friends I met through wrestling or fighting. That eventually turned into me doing jiu-jitsu and turned into my MMA career, both fighting and working as media and broadcasting. So that just random little whim of signing up for wrestling, completely changed the course of my life forever.
Well, how did you do?
Marina High School, Huntington Beach, California.
Yeah, solid school.
Yeah, 2 blocks away from Golden West, right there. Yeah.
That's cool. So we were on a run. We probably ran past Marina, had we?
I think we normally went east, and Marina was south. But it was just right there.
Oh wow, that close to going to West College. Now after going to West College, you went to the university, right? Or Cal State? You went to
San Francisco State. Yep.
So you wrestled for them too, right?
Yep.
No, is that D1? What level? What division?
They're Division II. Yeah, they're Division II schools. So,
That's dope.
Division II. But we still wrestle because there's not that many wrestling programs in California. Not that many
It's
four-year
not.
wrestling programs. Not like Iowa or Pennsylvania, back east or
No, it's not
West
that
or anything
many.
like that. So even though we were to Division II, we wrestled Stanford, Cal State Bakersfield, Fresno State, Cal State Fullerton, Arizona State. Like we wrestled all the D1 programs out west, even though we were Division II. We went to Midlands, went to Las Vegas Invitational. We wrestled all the hardest D1 schools around and went to all the hardest D1 tournaments, even though we were Division II.
Wow, how does that work? Was it D1, 2, 3, and
NAIA,
and the junior college.
JUCO, and
So
yep.
those junior colleges, all those divisions, and they have their own regionals, and then their own state championship.
Yeah, like there's like it. Yeah, like so in NCAA and all the divisions, there's the conference championships, right? So like, Division I has the Pac-12, the Big 10, Big 12, whatever. Like, and if you place in that conference, that decides who goes to nationals. And we were in the Rocky Mountain West Conference, even though we were in California. So yeah, you wrestled in that conference championships, and if you place a certain place, you go to nationals. Yeah, basically like that.
And then, I've never gotten that far. So as I'm asking all these questions, so you're a D2 school. You don't wrestle I guess you don't wrestle at the D1 level at the national level. I guess that's how I say.
So we wrestled the schools during the regular season, but we didn't wrestle in D1 conference championships or nationals. We had our own conference championships, our own Division II nationals.
Thanks. So I didn't get never that far. It wasn't good. Thank you for educating me on that, RJ. And another person that wrestled at Go West as well was a former UFC fighter and former Bellator fighter who just recently retired is Chase Gormley.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any memories or any cool stories you have of Chase Gormley? I have some.
I remember we might be saying the same one because I remember during a practice, he had a temper. Like he would.
There we go. I was doing the same thing. All right, go tell you story. I'll take my side.
He had a temper, and
is it about Aaron? Is it a long haired guy?
Yeah, our 65 pounder. Yeah, Aaron.
I was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Tell you story. I'll take my side.
So. I don't know how it happened, but Chase Gormley, our heavyweight, like a big muscle bound. He wasn't a fat heavyweight. He was all athletic, big guy.
Fast.
He had 100 pounds or so on our 165 pounder, and they were arguing over something. And Chase just started punching him.
Yep.
Right in the face. And our 65 pounder, he didn't fight back. He didn't run away. He just stood there and took it like right in the face.
Yeah. He manned up.
We kind of turn around and we see it, and I see our 141 pounder like jump on Chase. Another guy grabs him. It took like 3 or 4 lighter weight class wrestlers to like pull Chase off of our 65 pounder.
I was right there when it happened.
You were right there, right?
I was right there. So I just stared.
I thought it was crazy how our 65 pounder sit there, just took it, like didn't punch back, didn't run away, just stood his ground.
He
and 8 punches.
I think it's Aaron. He manned up. Yeah, they're arguing about something. I don't know what they were arguing about, but they were wrestling. I don't remember if they were wrestling. They were different weight classes, So, they're arguing about something. Then just Chase started throwing punch at his face, at his head. And Aaron, like you said, didn't fight back. Just took it, and a buddy of us tackled Chase and pulled him off him. And like but Aaron was dope. He manned up. Hey, what? And he's all, yeah, come on, come here. And well, here's the man. I would have ran away, man.
Or punch back, or fight back. Like, yeah, those are. It was fight or flight, right? That's normally your 2 reactions: run away or fight back. He had the third option, which is just stand there and take an ass kicking. It's tougher than me. I wouldn't have done that.
But man, before that, I would have been whatever I said. If I saw Chase going out, hey, bro, I'm sorry. Whatever I said, I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know what I did to piss you off. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. You're right. I'm wrong. don't break my neck. Because he is a giant, right?
Yeah, big boy. And he knows what he's doing, right?
He's a giant.
Champ wrestler.
And he was a state champion the year before that.
Yep.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. If you did not bring that story, I would bring that story up I was right there. I was chilling, and then like out of nowhere, she just starts going Super Saiyan. It's just on like hooks, bam, 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 and like and see Aaron's head, bing, 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 bing. And like I remember like 5 seconds, and like just when it happened, people jumped on Chase, going in and pulled him off, and she just and like Aaron, I saw Aaron right there, and I'm like, what? All you got? Like, man, this is crazy.
He was
Yeah.
nuts. I would never ever do that.
Yeah, me
Never.
too. I love Aaron though. I think that was just so long ago. Back 2002, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Your
Something
freshman year, my
2002,
sophomore year.
yeah. Man, that was crazy. Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah, and very scary because our team. I don't think we had a full team, right?
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah,
we always fielded a full team more or less.
yeah. We had a couple missing spots, right?
I don't think so. I thought we had everybody. A full, yeah, all 10 guys in the lineup.
10? Is it only 10?
Yeah, 10 weights in college.
Yeah, I think you're right. 'Cause, I wrestled off and I think a couple of the 45, 55 guys, 50 something pounds wrestled off so we probably had more than enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to wrestle off for a starting spot just to go to regionals. I only won my. I had to wrestle
you had to
Joe
have
Kobo.
Colorado, right?
No, Joe Kobo.
Did you have Joe
Irvine.
Kobo?
Yeah, I had to wrestle off with him. Yeah, I only beat him 1-0 just to be the starter. I barely beat him.
Yeah. Joe's dope.
Yeah, he was a state placer in high school.
Was he DC? Wow, state placer? How?
Yeah.
What he played?
I think he got 8th from Irvine.
Whatever.
Yeah, he placed.
He
placed. Yeah, I didn't place.
I didn't get that. I only went to Masters, man. Mm-hmm. Joe's dope, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, I was afraid to wrestle with Joe, man. He's too rough.
Yeah, he's a bruiser. He had hips like cement. He was hard to get in on.
Dude, yeah. I shot, and I'm like, I feel like he was broke my neck. His hit, boom, it's strong. Yeah. He's rough. He
had good defense.
He did. Yeah. Did he play the state in our year?
No, he had to go up 1 or 2 weight classes, and I don't think he placed.
Was he 70?
Either 65 or 74. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, that was a fun year though. I remember saying Michael Wright was there. I my wrestling buddy. I think we wrestled the same weight class. I think maybe with 50 something, or I forgot the weight class in college. 50 something, and
I think you wrestled at 40. You wrestled at 41, I think.
I had 41. Yeah. And what's the next one after 41?
49.
Yeah, I'll go back for 49, 41. Yeah, and sometimes I wrestle against Michael Wright. Yeah, and I miss that guy. He's a good guy. Man, that was a fun year.
Yeah, it was a good crew.
Yeah, that was good. And the reason why I didn't think we had a full team because at the definition, it was your house. We had the final meeting, with all the wrestlers.
Yeah, our awards dinner, basically.
Yeah, and it was only 5 of us there, It's all like, what happened, everybody,
Yeah.
And when everyone's gone, that was fun, though. The guys that stayed, came back. I missed everybody,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. RJ, so what motivated you to start fighting, sir?
So it was mostly just, I love training. So I was done wrestling and I was doing jujitsu and then doing boxing. And I was like, well, I'm learning all this cool stuff. I might as well use it and do a fight. So, I'm not like a natural, I didn't get into a lot of street fights. I'm a pretty laid back guy. I like roughhousing. I like wrestling and training, yeah. But I never really had a desire to get into a cage and fight. But when I started learning it more and more and more, I'm like, let's try it. Let's do something. Let's dare to do something cool. Dare to do something hard. Dare to do something that I can tell my kids about. And so it's fun. It's fun, right? And it's also it's one of the hardest things I've ever done. So just the training to get there, the anxiety of fight week, getting into that cage. My first fight ended in 69 seconds.
Nice.
I don't remember anything that happened in the fight because I was just so jacked with nerves that I just I blacked out, knocked him out in 69 seconds. And then he raised his hand. I was like, wow, and then winning, and you know this, Dan, like winning a fight is the greatest feeling in the world. Like you've won UFC fights, right? Like I only won like random regional shows in front of like a thousand people, nobody. Even that feeling, is amazing. So I can only imagine winning like a televised UFC bout like you have. Just the pure ecstasy meets relief, meets joy, meets pride. It's just all mixed together times 1,000.
People don't get it. Like, when you win, the high is high, and when you lose, the low is low.
Yeah. Losing's the worst. I think losing hurts more than how good winning feels.
That makes sense. Yes. That I can. Yeah, 100%. You have to be a competitor to understand what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is 100% correct. I was gonna ask you about your first. I mean, man, like, how was your experience? The nerves or the process. We finally winning. What was going through your mind? How did you feel going to your first, before, during, and after your first MMA fight?
So my very first fight was at I think is San Manuel Casino. I think it's in Highland, California. I had a couple fights there. I fought King of the Cage there. My very first fight was there. And, it's a couple hour drive from my house. I get there, the night before weigh-ins. I drove by myself. They gave me a hotel room, this crappy little hotel room next to the casino. You probably stayed there.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm still there, but go in, do my weigh-in, go back to the room, hydrate, eat. I found a little Italian restaurant kind of around the corner, ate there, just laid low. And then the next morning I wake up, morning of the fight, and I felt sick. Like I felt like I had a little bit of a fever, my stomach hurt. I'm like, oh, damn it. No way. My very first pro fight, and I get the flu or the cold or something. And so I just go back to sleep, kind of like drink something, take a nap, woke up feeling a lot better. So I'm like, okay, that's good. My coach eventually comes down and meets me. And you go through the process with the commission. I'm like trying to act tough because I've competed for years and years and years, but it's a fight. It's different. It's a different experience. And so I just tried to like not think about it. Just tried to like, it reminded me of being a freshman in high school again in my first wrestling tournaments, and how nervous I felt. And
scary.
Don't embarrass your coaches. Don't embarrass your friends and family who paid $60 a ticket to come here and see you. But be ready to go. And so I remember like being in the back, I asked to be the very first fight because I had a teammate that was fighting later in the night. And I wanted to like be done with everything to be able to watch him fight. So luckily it was the very first fight. They put you in the staging. I'm warming up, then they put you in the staging area. You walk out, and the second I stepped in that cage, I don't know how it is for you, Nam, in your first fights, but like 1,000 things start going off in my head of what could be wrong. Like this canvas feels a little slippery. The temperature's a little off. This light's kind of bright. Like every little thing you're like running through, like what could go wrong, what's different.
It's scary.
It's scary. And then, you're already there. Like your alternative is to just be like, nope, I'm not fighting, and just run away. So you just kind of sack it up and do it. And they said go, and I wake up and the fight's over and I won, and cheering, and I hugging my coach and hugging my cornerman, and run backstage, and you're still pumped. Like you get your check, and I had to hunt down the promoter to get my win bonus. Cause he's not going to tell you about it. You got to go ask him for it.
What was King of the Cage or Barry Challenge?
It was, it wasn't King of the Cage. It was a random promotion that only did like 2 or 3 shows. So I did that. And then afterwards I go like meet all my buddies that were there, and we got a bunch of beers, and we were at a casino. So we were just gambling, drinking, having a great time. And that was the other really good part about winning, is having your friends and family there and how happy they are and how excited they are for you. And it's just like, you get to like be a part of like everyone being proud of you and doing something cool that not many people get to do. And so that was the, aside from just the joy of winning, that was the other big part, is like, yeah, like we all like, me, man, any reason to party and I'm there. So if I can win a fight, make everyone have a great time, I'm all in.
I like that. You always about a good time, RJ. You party or not, alcohol, you always got to be around. That's what I remember. It was very fun. Definitely comedy. I see some of your shows Man, you're a character, RJ. Man, you thought I would do stand up?
No, I mean, I'm not opposed to it just to try it. It's kind of like, it'd be kind of like fighting, like, oh, just do something hard. And if I fail, I fail, but like, at least I'm working to do something difficult and challenging that, like the more high mountains you climb, the less mountains seem daunting to you, right? It's like what Dan Gable said, once you've wrestled, everything else is easy. So like
That's true.
the
It's
more
true.
hard things you do, the more well-rounded and better character you develop. So yeah, I don't think I'd be good at it, but I'd be down to try it.
I mean, I don't know because I watch your show, man. You seem very fluid. You have a character about you, and I don't know. You seem very naturally funny. Now you're naturally funny. Like, you imagine like you have like a set. You write things down. You have a you know what to say, and then you go and you boom. I mean, I watch. I want to see you, like, because of your show. You look very smooth. You look great. You look professional. I don't think
Uh,
you on stage, just
yeah.
freestyle, you just go, you kill it.
After 12 years of being a radio host, I hope I'd finally found my stroke. I've been doing it long enough. Hopefully, I figured it out by now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh man, yeah. You're great. Oh, one more. I was trying to say. Do you know who Michael J. White is?
Michael J. White. Refresh
The
my memory.
the actor.
Actor. Okay.
Spawn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible with actors and celebrities. I'm
Oh,
awful.
yeah. Okay,
I
cool.
know who you're talking about.
He's a big buff black guy. Does martial arts.
Mhm.
Well, yeah. I think he's in what was it? Batman. It was always Heath Ledger as the Joker. He's in there. He's a game member. I think Joker put the pencil in his eyeball, something like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, that Michael White. I think a while ago, a little bit ago, he made a comment about Bruce Lee. I just want to ask him like, how do you think you're doing as Bruce Lee? And he made a kind of controversial comment saying, he'll beat Bruce Lee. Bring the Bruce Lee, I'll smash him. And like, and I have a different opinion, but I just want to know, what's your opinion? Like, how you think, Spawn, Michael J. White, the big black, he's like, I'll say, I'm not sure how tall he is, maybe 5'10", 220 pounds. Bruce Lee, 5'7", 130 pounds. So he's light. How do you think, who you win in an MMA match, Bruce Lee or Michael J. White? I hear your opinion. I'll give you my opinion. Yes, correct.
I don't know if Michael J. White truly trains actual fighting. I don't know if he does or not. Because if he does like actual MMA training, it gets really hard for a guy with 100-pound weight disadvantage to beat a disciplined fighter. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
even a very, very below trained fighter at heavyweight beats the world's best flyweights. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
Yep.
like the
Yep.
average guy, a guy with no training, but who's just like buff at 230, fighters kick his ass. But if he
All
just needs
day.
just basic training, right? He handles the lighter guys. So
Yeah.
I think it depends how much he's actually trained.
Yeah. Okay. So, here's my thing. I've done some little light research. Michael J. White has not done any type of mixed martial training, like wrestling, grappling. He's all stand up. Karate stuff mostly. Taekwondo. I think he's done a little Muay Thai. He's very airy, very cocky. Yeah, he seems humble, but very cocky. He goes to Kibble Slice, and he was a fighter, professional fighter at the UC level, which is the highest level of mixed martial arts. Yes.
Yep.
And he's giving Kimball Slice tips. He's trying to tell him how to punch, what he's doing wrong, what you should do. And I'm like, dude, I get this all the time, RJ. I get kung fu guys come to me, tell me what I'm doing wrong all the time. I get it.
Yeah.
And Kimball Slice is very humble. He takes it in. He takes everything by a grain of salt. And he's just like, he's taking Michael White's tips. Okay, oh, you do this. You telegraph your punches. You should just punch like that. Blah blah. I'm thinking, dude, Kimball Slice will break your face, man. Like, dude, this guy you never fought.
Yeah.
Dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. So here's my thing. Bruce Lee also as well is not a fighter. But you know what Bruce Lee has done? He trains real fighting. You know who were his buddies? Gino Bell. He knows grappling.
Yep.
In his movie, you see armbar. You know who's his homie? the legendary Muhammad Ali. He knows boxing. So he knows judo. He knows grappling and boxing. So Mario White has the weight advantage. Okay, I give it the size and weight advantage. But if you see one, Bruce Lee by armbar, man, or one is punch, boom. Because Mario White don't know grappling. You know, he don't know armbar. He doesn't know none of that, and he don't know boxing. Did you tell him Ali? I don't think so.
Ali had some hands, or Bruce Lee had some hand speed too.
Dude, you can't even
land
see
17 punches before Homeboy got one done.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Dude, like the legend says, his hands are so fast. They ask him to slow down his punches so the camera can catch his hands. That's how fast he hits. So
I believe it.
Maybe not strength wise, but speed and technique wise, I definitely give it to Bruce Lee. If anyone's watching this, I say Bruce Lee beats Mario White in an MMA fight.
I'm with you.
Yeah, there we go. 2-1. I mean, there you go. We're two professional fighters say that Bruce will win in an MMA fight against Margie White. I want to see who else agrees with me, with us. That's my humble opinion. I think Bruce Lee beats Margie White in a mixed martial event. In the UFC, UFC 1, no weight class. Bruce Lee takes it by submission. Oh man, yes. Yes. Also, I want to say, how do you, how do you think Mario White would do his UFC fight at the UFC at the pro level? I think we already talked about this, but that he just talks so much about himself. Was it?
You got a bone to pick with Michael J. White right now, don't you?
I do. I don't. He's famous. This is very common. I get guys, like kung fu guys, like that never fought. The kung fu master that challenged me, he never fought a day in his life. He never sparred. But for whatever reason, he had enough confidence to come up to me and think he could mess me up. Same thing with Margie White. He never fought, but for whatever reason, he thinks he has audacity to tell these professional fighters what to do and tell them what to do wrong. So that's crazy. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, Margie White, Michael Perry. Michael Perry hates Margie White. So they fought, who would win? Who is that fight?
Mike Perry, UFC fighter Mike Perry?
Yes.
Knockout artist Mike Perry? Flirting with almost being a ranked fighter Mike Perry?
Yes.
Mike Perry would take Michael J. White, put him into his pocket, fold him up, and use him as pocket change. It wouldn't even be close.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Perry doesn't have pretty looking kicks like Margie White does, but dude, in a fight, a UFC fight in the octagon.
UFC fight, bar fight, Bellator fight, beach fight. I don't care where the fight is.
Michael Perry kills all day. Michael Perry doesn't like it. He saw the video of Margie White giving him some of these tips. That pissed him off. As well as me, it got me kind of frustrated. This guy has never fought, professional fighter at the highest level, tips on how to punch. And my Perry's pissed, like, who the F is this guy think he is giving a professional fighter tips on how to punch? Freaking, like I said, he was like to break his face.
Yep, absolutely.
Show some respect. So I'm definitely with Michael Perry on that. So, but you know what? Here's the thing. Michael J. White saw that interview with Michael Perry, and he's saying that, dude, I kick him in his face so fast he wouldn't even know what hit him. Like, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You would not kick nobody in the face so fast. Like, dude, Michael Perry will grab you before you even kick him, stand on your dang neck. Like, no, does that make sense? This guy, he never fought, but he thinks in his mind, he thinks he can do like this magic, and that's not it.
You can tell, like Hollywood martial artists who never spar.
Yes,
because
he never sparred.
Because even the guys that don't fight, they'll do a little sparring. They're like, okay, this is where I stand. Like I know where I stand. I got some respect for the legit guys. So you can tell he never sparred.
Yes, sir. Here's another thing. Margie White is a video. I'm sorry about the Margie White. The video of him sparring with John Jones, right? It's not even, my idea is sparring is putting headgear, glove. It's like a real fight with gear. It's going down, it's sparring. but they're not even. There's not even no contact. There's like really patty cake, like no touch. Like that ain't sparring.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here,
It's show
Mike.
sparring for the cameras.
Yeah, come on, you white, get out of here, man. That nonsense. Oh, goodness gracious, sir. Yeah, so I didn't think if he fought Michael Perry would break his face. You know? Yeah. And my very funny guys. I like him a lot. Also, Mr. RJ, I have some questions on your opinion about some UFC events coming up. And I think this weekend we have UFC Fight Night 188, Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt. Well, who sees that fight? Who wins that fight?
So I love this matchmaking for all the right reasons. You've got obviously two talented boxers at 135. You've got kind of questions for both guys coming in because Cody Garbrandt was champion, lost 3 fights in a row, got back on the winning track. So you're like, okay, is Cody Garbrandt fully back? With Rob Font, he's a guy that in the UFC, he'd won a bunch, lost a few, and now he's on a 3-fight win streak, coming off of a knockout win over Marlon Moraes. So it's like, okay, is Rob Font the real deal? Was this win streak kind of a fluke, or is he legit top 5, top 3 bantamweight with title fight aspirations? And so this is the perfect matchup for both guys because we have questions for both guys that can be answered by their opponent, and also just a nice recipe for action. So Cody Garbrandt has been at the very top. He's been in multiple 5-round fights, been in multiple main events, been in multiple title fights. This is the big spotlight for Rob Font for the very first time. So I'm going to lean with the experience of Cody Garbrandt in this one, but Rob Font's a live dog, and it's close to a pick'em fight betting wise anyway, which is as it should be.
Yeah, I trained with Cody Garbrandt by Alpha Male back in the day when I was fighting with UFC. Yeah, and real nice guy. Yeah, he's dope, man. He's athletic, very strong for his size. You know, yeah. So I don't know much about Mr. Font, but yeah, I'm definitely rooting for Cody to take this win. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cody's got the hand speed and obviously the knockout power. That's a big difference maker.
Yeah, man. He got some boxing. He can box, man. He's good. He's quick.
Yep.
He's quick with his hands. Now we have a UFC 263. Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori 2. Adesanya won the first fight by split decision, but ever since then, Vettori has gone on a 5-fight winning streak. Who you have winning the rematch?
So I love this matchup. I mean, there were talks that like Robert Whittaker would be the next number 1 contender for Israel Adesanya. I prefer the Marvin Vettori fight. That one didn't work out timing wise, but I prefer the Marvin Vettori fight when it comes to rematches for Adesanya, because the Whittaker fight was only, I think, 2.5 years ago, and it was a quick knockout. Whereas Marvin Vettori, that was like 3.5 years ago, and it was a split decision. No one fought Israel Adesanya harder or took him more to the brink until he lost to Jan Blachowicz than Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori's got the win streak. He's been improving. I love his attitude. He's just like, he has like the emotion and rawness of an amateur fighter, but he's a seasoned pro and fights like a seasoned pro. So I love, you see a lot of professional fighters where it's like, it's about the money, it's about risk management, which is fine and great. That's how you get good. But Marvin Vettori is just like a bulldog. He's just like, he legitimately just wants to kick his ass, not even just for a title. He just like wants to beat up Israel Adesanya. So wow. I love the matchup. But Izzy's takedown defense has gotten so good. His length is such a big problem. He's not the giant grappling liability that I think a lot of people thought he might have been back in the day. So I think the skill of Adesanya and his accuracy and his striking is going to be too much for Vettori, but Vettori's a live dog. Absolutely. I mean, if he can make it dirty and gritty and rough up Israel Adesanya, get in close, drool on him, punch him, ground and pound, like do all that kind of stuff, then he can make it a long night for Izzy.
Yeah. I don't know much about the opponent, but I said Israel Adesanya takes as well. He's as a stud. He guy's quick. Mm. He's good. Also, Mr. RJ, on Saturday, July 10th, at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, we have the rubber match, the tiebreaker. The third match between Tristan Poirier and Conor McGregor. Who you got winning that fight and how?
Well, I don't see any reason why Dustin Poirier shouldn't be the favorite. And by all accounts, the third fight should go like the second fight did in Abu Dhabi, with Dustin Poirier wearing on Conor with some clinching, mixing in the kicks, because Conor's got a really, really wide stance, which makes you susceptible to kicks with that lead foot so far out there. And he can be heavy on that lead foot because he's trying to box, and you're generally heavier on that lead foot when you're trying to box. So Conor McGregor doesn't really drastically alter his game plan or style from fight to fight. Conor kind of always fights like Conor, and Dustin's able to, to change things up. He's got a great coach, Mike Thomas Brown, in his corner, great game planner,
I
great
fought
adjustments.
him.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, yeah, you fought. So what he's capable of. So,
Sure.
it's not a walkover fight at all. Like, we've seen what Conor's punches are capable of. And that first round between Conor and Dustin was competitive, right? It was not a walkover at all. Dustin obviously took over in the second. So it's a competitive fight. It's a righteous matchup, but I think Dustin's the favorite, rightfully so.
Yeah, I like Conor McGregor. It's always, I like Conor McGregor, but Dustin Poirier looks freaking amazing. I love Conor McGregor fights, as dude. Not so much ladies. I think because he's become a father, married. He's kind of calmed down on the antics.
Just had a third kid this week. Yeah.
Third kid?
Yeah, this week
Oh,
was born.
He can afford it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a little different than you or me having three kids. If you're Conor. Yeah.
I have one kid. I'm dying over here. You have 10 kids. That's some money. But like Conor McGregor back in the day, I guess before he had kids, man, he was funny. He was really good with the comebacks, really fun with the insults. I really like that. I guess now I think about being like a father figure and for a good role model for his kids, so he's like calm down a little bit. But I don't really good fight. Those guys are beasts. Kind of a big Conor fan, a big Dustin Poirier fan. So I'm excited about that fight. Speaking of fighting, Mr. RJ, lately we've seen a lot of YouTube stars, competing and fighting. What are your opinions on these YouTube guys? Fighting, fighting professional fighters, fighting professional boxing matches with the limited experience. It's good for the sport. What are your opinion on like Jake and Logan Paul? Do you consider them real fighters?
Well, look, I think there's always that big argument of like, is it good or bad for the sport, right? It's like, oh, they're making a mockery of boxing, but they're getting a lot of eyeballs. I consider them two different sports. I consider them two completely separate things. I mean, if you've got two seasoned boxers competing in a sanctioned boxing match with titles on the line or rankings on the line or actual sporting elements on the line, that to me is completely different than, two guys with giant audiences trying to squash a make-believe beef with, 12-ounce gloves on. So it's like, to me, it's like, it's not the same sport. To me, it's a credit to combat sports because, if Logan Paul or Jake Paul had a beef with some TikTok or other YouTuber and they wanted to squash it with a game of tennis or a round of golf, no one would care. But because they're choosing to squash this beef with a fight, people care. People want to buy pay-per-views and pay a lot of money to be a part of this. So I think it's a credit to boxing and MMA or combat sports in general that you have two guys doing something that they've never done before and everyone cares and wants to see it. That's because people want to see fights.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I watch for free anyways. So whatever. So speaking of YouTube fighters, so what we got here? What's your opinion on the upcoming boxing match with Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather?
Kind of the same thing. It's there seems to be a lot. Like, I think it's harmless. I don't think it hurts boxing or helps boxing. But it seems to be like a lot. Like, now it's just all about YouTubers, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson, like retired fighters, older fighters. De La Hoya wanted to box George St. Pierre. Anderson Silva now wants to box. And it's just kind of like, when it's every now and then, it's fine because it's kind of a new distraction. But when it's every other month, I feel like the shine is starting to wear off a little bit. Like, there's a reason why the circus came to town. If the circus was always in town, it would get old. But if it just shows up once a year, Like, okay, yeah, let me see that lion tamer and those clowns and those trapeze artists again. But if they were always there every single weekend, you get sick of it. So I feel like the circus act of these celebrity boxing is getting old pretty fast.
Yeah, like, I guess they're getting paid pretty well. Like Ben Askren got paid like the most he ever gotten paid in his life for fighting. He got
Yep.
knocked out like 10 seconds, but when he paid $500,000 for it.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, that's kind of what rationalizes all this is like,
Yeah.
well, they're all getting paid. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, if someone's giving them that money, like if there's a market that's being supported by fans who are buying the event, paying hard-earned green American currency that they worked for to watch this thing, then they're delivering a product that those people want. That's America, right?
Yeah,
That's
I don't mind.
if all parties involved are happy, so be it.
Can that fag get bossed back with some YouTube salary? I want to get $500,000.
Right? That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Can somebody hook me up? God dang. Oh man. Oh, so we were talking about Logan Paul for a minute. So who you got winning that fight?
Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather.
Did I ask you about that? Yeah, yeah.
Floyd Mayweather.
What's your I asked you what's your opinion about that? Logan Paul. What's your opinion about the Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight?
Yeah, I guess like who wins? I think they're trying to make it interesting by pinning like how Floyd Mayweather, his weight class is 30 pounds less than Logan Paul, just to try to make it seem like it's close. But I mean, Floyd Mayweather's never lost. He's not going to start losing to YouTubers anytime soon.
And doesn't matter what size you are, doesn't matter how strong you are. And I know in an MMA fight, Logan Paul and Jay Paul messed him in an MMA fight. Smaller. I guess I don't know about it, but Logan Paul is a really high level wrestler in high school. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, in Ohio, he's a pretty good wrestler in high school. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know what it is, but I saw him. I saw some cousin double legging Paulo Costa. That's pretty impressive. So he can wrestle, get on top. Had 50 pounds on me. Says what are you putting on me? Yeah, it might be a good night for him. And then again, he'll hook on armbar. But besides that,
you would tap him in like 13 seconds, Nam. It would take you. I would blink and you'd have him strangled in an instant.
I found armbar that guy, but size doesn't matter. But I mean, I wouldn't mind for the money. I take any of those guys. There's no weight class. Old school UFC was all day. Yeah, you give me the money. I mean, I'll fight those guys all day.
I think every fighter in the world would fight Logan or Jake Paul for that kind of money.
Everybody wants it. Well, back to Logan Paul and for me, how does that fight go, sir?
I think it's kind of what Conor and Floyd looked like. I think Floyd kind of lets him wear himself out in the early rounds, and then Floyd knocks him out mid fight when he wants. Yeah.
I hope. I mean, I'm sure that's what's gonna happen. They just carries him, mess around, plays around with him, and like knock him out. As small as he is, I definitely think he'll knock him out. The guy was pretty much an Olympic champion. He got cheated, but he won the Olympics. And he's undefeated at the professional level, at the highest level of boxing. So like, people talk about Muhammad Ali being the greatest boxer in the world, but Floyd Mayweather, that is the epitome of boxing. Hit the guy, don't get hit. He did perfect. He's the man,
Yep.
So yeah, there's no way no regular guy that doesn't even fight, doesn't even box, is gonna touch Floyd Mayweather, the greatest fighter of all time. No way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope Floyd Mayweather makes it fun for us to watch. Things has low output, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, I think that's as much as I think a lot of people thought the Conor versus Floyd boxing match was a farce. I think a lot of people who paid for that fight enjoyed it. Like Floyd knocked him out. Like when was the last time Floyd Mayweather was in a really exciting boxing match? Like that was the first time in like years, like
this was the first and last time.
Yeah, like I think not since like Ricky Hatton had Floyd Mayweather been in like a fun fight. And so at least I think people who paid the $100 pay-per-view, like I think they enjoyed what they saw, whether they thought it was a joke or not, or it was a service and took it seriously. I think they enjoyed the experience.
Oh, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm not excited, but I'm definitely interested in watching that fight. I'm not gonna pay for it, but I'm gonna watch it.
Don't tell Dana.
I'll watch it somehow. I don't know how to watch it. I'll watch it somehow. Oh, So did you see the Jake Paul fight where he's been Askren? What was your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, you've got Ben Askren, who was never known for his hands, never really
Dang.
boxed, coming off of hip surgery, already retired, weighed in heavier than he ever had. He knew his role was to just kind of be a mouth, be a little bit of a, someone who's going to like talk the talk and just go in there and just take your paycheck. So same thing with like all the other, like Frank Mir and those other guys, they all kind of weighed in a little heavier than normal. All the MMA guys showed up to that event just kind of like, all right, I'll take a paycheck, whatever.
Did Frank Mir win? No, did he lose? Frank Mir, it was a draw.
I think it was a draw or something, right?
That's pretty good because that guy he's dope. That guy, he fights dope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm that's very impressive for Frank Mir. But man, Ben Askren, god dang, I really remember Ben Askren, Gosh darn it. You get knocked out flat in his face, but dang it. All right, so let me ask how do you start in what you do in your job now on MMA Today at Sirius FM? How did you get that job?
How did I get into it?
Yeah, sir.
So I was the editor in chief of Tap Out magazine years
Yes, I
ago
remember Bobby, right?
with Bob Pittman. Yep. In the mid two, who also wrestled at Golden West College.
That's right. Yes, right.
In the mid 2000s. And so as a writer, the producer at the time of the show named Ricky Bonet, he read one of my articles in the magazine and said, "Hey, do you want to be a guest on our show?" And I said, "Of course." And I guess they liked what they heard. And so they had me on as a weekly guest for almost 4 years. And then after all that time, a host position opened up and they asked me to be the host. And I said, yeah. And at that time I had a radio show on 710 ESPN on 710 AM in Los Angeles. And so I'd already had that gig. So I already had some radio experience. They said, "Okay, want to be a host?" And I said, "Of course." And that was 11 years ago. And now I'm still a radio host for them.
Wow, that's how I have. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. I'm proud of you. That's dope. So that when you got the job, you're the main host. Like, how did Anthony Smith get involved?
I'm not exactly sure. Our program director is a very talented girl named Marissa Rivas, and she has and she's in charge of like finding new talent, cultivating new talent, seeing who works, who doesn't. And so she brought on Anthony Smith and Misha Tate and Dean Thomas. And on the show on our channel, we've had as hosts Michael Bisping before. Dan Hardy's been a host for us. AJ Hawk was a football player, MMA fan. Even he was a host for us. We've had a lot of really, really great, retired or active fighters as part of our channel, and we're really proud of it.
Nice, that's nice, yeah. So you're the main host, right? Are you there every week of the show?
Yeah. I'm one of the main co-hosts.
Okay, main host.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more than one, or are you the main guy?
So there's multiple shows on the channel. So like Jimmy Smith has his own show. There's a boxing show. There's a pro wrestling show. Ryan McKinnell hosts the show as well. So it's a whole channel and it's all day long. So there's multiple hosts, multiple shows, and I'm proud to be one of many.
You're my favorite show for sure.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, now how were you able to start working at the production side of UFC? How did all that mix in?
So 4 or 5 years ago, there was a writer researcher job available back when the UFC was on Fox Sports. And so that job would be for both Fox and UFC. And just a friend of a friend of a friend knew someone that was involved in the hiring process, and my name came up. And I got a call from Steve Becker, who was the VP producer over at Fox. And then I got a call from Zach Candido, who's a senior producer at UFC, who's still my boss to this day. They called me and they interviewed me, and I guess I fooled them and made them think that I was qualified for the job. And the next week I was over at the Culver City studios, the Fox studios in Culver City, writing and researching for their UFC programming.
Oh man! So this is California. This office you went to is in California.
Yeah, Culver City, California. Yeah.
So now, so what does your job entail as UC? What's the job title? UC production.
So now, yeah, so I work in UFC production. I'm either a stage manager or a mix zone producer. So when there's a pre-fight show, post-fight show, weigh-in show, you see that desk, and it'll be like Karen Bryant, Anthony Smith, and Alan Joban, and they're interviewing fighters, talking about fights. I manage that stage, that desk. I make sure everything's situated correctly, everything's going the way it's supposed to go, and help manage the cameramen and lighting and audio and all that, and kind of make sure all that's working in sync. Or I'm the mix zone producer, which is when Megan O'Leary or Laura Senko or Heidi Androl is kind of doing like the sideline reporting. I produce that role. So, and there's a lot of other like little roles I do here and there, but that's the bulk of what I do for the UFC.
Dope, RJ, man.
Yeah.
You made it, man. All from going with Little Sim, Huntington Beach, California, going with college. You made the top, the big dogs, man.
Oh, you're the UFC Ultimate Fighter, UFC fighter. You're the one that made it, Nam.
These RJ, I can't see your picture.
I don't know where I went. Where did I go?
What happened?
I don't know. Why did I disappear?
Why did you disappear? Are you back? Are you back? Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know where I went. Where'd I go?
Where did you go? I want to hear your story.
You can still hear me, right?
I hear you. All right.
I don't know why I disappeared.
Well, let's continue. Just keep talking.
Okay.
Anyways, RJ. Hold up. Anyways, yes, you made it, RJ. Yeah, the big behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I'm the oil that makes the wheels keep turning.
That's dope, man. Yeah. Oh man, RJ, behind the scenes. So you see all the backstage stuff. Hasn't it been any funny stories or any fights or fights that you've seen at the UFC events?
There's one story I like. Years ago, there was an event in Las Vegas, and it was like 3 or 4 people on our crew's birthday in an event in Vegas. And so we all went to this restaurant I think it was at the MGM to do like kind of just like a team dinner. And I think Michael Bisping was there, Kenny Flooring was there, Brian Stan was there. A lot of Fox Sports executives were there. And we're having this dinner, and Dana White was having dinner at the exact same restaurant. And he kind of walked by, and obviously like a lot of our crew knew him. So they went up and talked to him. We're having dinner, and Steve Becker, who was my boss at the time, awesome guy, is a VP producer over there. The bill came and they gave it to Becker. He said, "Oh, that guy over there," pointed at Dana White, and said, he's gonna take care of the bill." And the server's like, "You mean Mr. White?" Becker's like, "Yeah." And so this is like, Dana didn't know this. Like, it wasn't planned. Becker just like tried to pull this off. And so I'm sitting there at the table and I watch the server go up to Dana, and I can't hear him, but I see, him hand the thing to Dana, kind of like say something to him and point to Becker. And so I see Dana looking right at Becker, and he just kind of slowly pulls out his wallet, gives him the credit card, and the guy walks away. So Becker got Dana to pay what was like a $3,000 or $4,000 tab, just as a goof, and it worked.
Oh wow, as a goof. But why the president of the UFC? What's $3,000 to him, right?
Oh, that's like one blackjack bet for him.
Yeah,
no big deal.
It's probably he probably wiped his butt with $50,000, Yeah, but doesn't care. Oh yeah, not you, me, man. I can't do that. I'll be pissed off.
Yeah, not Dana.
It's so dead to me. I'm throwing hooks. Get that chick out of my face. Oh man. All right, RJ. That's all I got for you. So at the end of the show, sir, I would say 2 things. I would say this, sir. You say it with me, guys. I want to say thank you very much for RJ Clifford for being on the Fire Die podcast, guys. Yay! Thank you very much, RJ.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm sorry for the ghetto malfunction at the end.
Yeah, I disappeared. I know. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what happened. No, I'm a reject agent. I don't know how. I'm not good with computers. Oh, you're back. Yay.
There I am.
RJ.
I don't know what happened. Yay! Just in time for the end.
Perfect timing. Yeah. So perfect timing, sir. So now, sir, I end the show. we have two things in life. Are two things. All right, guys. You just say it with me. That's loud, guys. That's it for the show, guys. In life, you have two options: fight
or
die.
die.
Yeah. I think you're
Man.
fun, man. Thank you so much.
Good talking to you, buddy.
I'll pause it right now. All right. I'll see you later.
Awesome.
All right.
Later,
Bye.
Dan.